Good morning, everybody. My name is Bart Winkler. It is the Bart Winkler Show. The Packers have fallen to 2-3. Actually, getting into the Dan Schani YouTube stream a few seconds before the game is over. So, still don't know if Josh McDaniels is going to do anything stupid, at like going for the field goal. The game should have been over. They should have gone for it on fourth down. Would have probably got it with Josh Jacobs, and it would have been over. But Packers got another opportunity. Couple of drops there on the final drive, Dobbs and Musgrave, and then the pick in the end zone that was intended for Watson. So not the greatest of evenings, not the greatest finish, not the greatest of games either. There is going to be a lot of different discourse about tonight's game. I would like to focus on the poor coaching. I think the poor coaching is the overall factor. I think Matt LaFleur, again, is not improving as a coach. For some reason, he doesn't trust Jordan Love. Too much A.J. Dillon, although he did get finally into the end zone. So that is good. Joe Barry, the Packers have been around for 100 years, okay? And 100 years of goodwill and legacy and history and championships, and it all got erased tonight when Joe Barry put Preston Smith on Devontae Adams. I mean, that image, that shot, everybody clowned on it. Everybody who's got a Twitter account of any variety, of any NFL action, was all over it. That was a terrible play. Now, to come here tonight and say Joe Barry, like Joe Barry does stink. Is Joe Barry the reason they lost? No. Did Joe Barry throw 3 interceptions? He did not. So I think that play is going to be what gets shown a lot. And I do think that Joe Barry is not the right guy for this job. But this is not – there's not going to be a lot of – like, other than that play, they held Devontae in check decent amount. Running backs can do whatever they want, especially near the end zone. But this is about Matt LaFleur to me, and it's going to be discussed Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is going to get a lot of criticism for tonight's game, and I think that there's some that's deserved. Love on the first 2 interceptions, I feel he knows what the route is. He doesn't know, I don't think, and this is just some dumb idiot telling you what I see when they show the replays. I don't break down the all 22. I don't pretend like but I've played Madden as much as the next guy. I think that Love knows his route, and the first time he never saw the guy coming. So interception. The second time, the guy played a little tighter on Watson than he was planning for. And so I think that, there was another interception. So that's something that Love has to work on. And I think that Jordan Love can work on that. Now, I did throw out there, this was his 5th game of the season. Last year, I thought these 5 games that we saw, Jordan Love we should have seen these 5 games already. Last season, when Aaron Rodgers has a thumb injury, but at 4-8, he runs to McAfee and says, I'm playing. No one shuts him down. They had no shot at the playoffs. Somehow they nearly get there, and then Rodgers looks like ass against the Lions. So one of the things that I tweeted was just that, and the responses to that tweet, a lot of people are very confident that Love sucks. Nathan, he's not that special. Hey, Nathan. He's not that special. Combined with play calling, this is what you get. They are not growing pains. This is BSD Gazelle. They are not growing pains. He sucks. Michael says, these aren't growing pains. Brian, stop making excuses for your guy. He sucks, period. You went running your mouth after one game, after one game declaring him the next coming. Now stand by it. I don't recall really doing that. World of Clowns says these aren't growing pains. The significant lack of talent. As you can see, a live shot here of the stadium where we've got a lot of Packer fans that were in attendance tonight. And there you have it. A lot of Packer fans in attendance. Very sad. We have boots on the ground, as always. Good to see the action there on the Dan Schani YouTube stream. Of course, got some people popping in. I'll get to you guys in a minute. Kevin says he may just be an average quarterback like the majority of the league has. Welcome to the real world. Paul says this team sucks. Anthony says Jordan Love is more Jimmy G than he is Rodgers. These aren't growing pains. It is who he is. I mean, we are way too early in that, I feel. We have seen good of Jordan Love. And tonight we saw some bad. We saw some things like the thing I pointed out. I think he's got to work on that. This game to me, and like some of you, so here's what we do now. What is the agenda? What is what we want to say? Some of you have an anti-Jordan Love agenda where you're just like, this isn't it. I don't like it. It's not it. He's not the guy. I'd love to go see what you said about Rodgers in 2008, but that's what you say. I have an anti-Matt LaFleur agenda. Not that I want him to. I think he stinks. I think he's bad. He's progressively getting worse. First half, calling the timeout late at the end, really dumb. Giving the ball to A.J. Dillon way too much. It's clear there's something about Jordan Love he doesn't trust. That's the way he's coaching. I just want, why are you going to have this season? If this whole season is about trying to find out if Jordan Love's a good quarterback, let's find out. Let's put him in plus situations. Let's not just run the ball to A.J. Dillon all the time. Let's not get a big play to Watson and then go run, shitty pass. Let's not do that. Tony was at the game. Tony in Texas, in Vegas, at Allegiant Stadium. How you doing, Tony?
Hey, Bart. Leaving the game, not the ending we wanted. What you're saying right now is absolutely correct. They got to let Jordan Love play a little bit more. I will say this. Christian Watson didn't exactly fight for that ball in that last play. Not a good pass, but at least fight for the ball. And, Joe Barry and the crew defensively, they did okay, did enough to win. But that Matt LaFleur offense, and you've been on LaFleur, I'm starting to buy into what you're selling there. That LaFleur offense looks like shit.
Well, he has no confidence in these guys, I don't think, and I don't trust his ability as a coach in game scheming.
Packer fans, what do we say about Matt LaFleur?
He's been a bitch, dude. You don't want to play anybody good to the fucking fourth quarter. You don't want to play anybody solid.
Packer fans are not happy with LaFleur over here, Bart.
Yeah, good. How's the stadium?
I like the stadium. Stadium's nice, kind of a Cowboy Stadium light. It's a nice stadium. It's in a great spot. Good setup. I got to say this. The Raider presentation for the game is the best I've ever seen. The music is on point. They got the Raiderettes. They're bringing in the old timers. Charles Woodson's there. It was a good time.
How was David Gruber? I saw you met him.
Oh, yeah, Gruber. Why the hell's Gruber up in the 400 seats? I don't know, but he was up there with me. That was funny.
He was?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I wonder why he was up there, but that was hilarious. Gruber, I ran into Gruber. It's hilarious, and then that's got over 40,000 views. Who knew? David Gruber.
Well, what are you doing tonight? Now it's only.
We're walking over to Mandalay Bay right now. Mandalay Bay is the spot to go to, so we're gonna walk over there right now and go drink our sorrows away, Bart.
All right. Well, this was the game I was supposed to be at, so I wish I could have met up with you, but.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's a good scene. It's a good time. The team is garbage. I thought they were better than what they would be. They're going to probably win about 6 games and then just go from there. But watching the scheme and the receivers, Jordan Love did not get a lot of help. He did not get a lot of help. Bart, it's the Raiders right here.
Oh, let's go full screen on whatever that is.
Can we put that on the YouTube, Bart, or not? Is that?
I just have to mark no, it is not for children, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it, Bart. All right. I don't know, Bart. We're not making the playoffs. Sorry I couldn't bring back the win. That's all I got.
All right, buddy. Let's talk soon.
All right. See you later. Go Pack, go.
Let's see. I got a couple I wanted to read here. I'll get more comments in a minute. Shane says Jordan Love is not an average QB. Regardless of the interceptions, he does look good. If people can't see it, they are blind. Lisa says, I stick with my assessment. He is fine, but that doesn't mean he is good. No, I don't think we're going to get to a point where, Like if after 5 weeks we say, oh, he's really good, then God bless us. But I think that we need Jordan Love to have the time to see if he's good. Like I think giving him a season is a good idea. What do we got? But if Matt LaFleur is going to call these games where you don't get to see and you keep putting Love in these situations, it doesn't help that some of these guys are dropping these passes, and that's just not a tonight thing. You know, you're trying to get Jordan Love. He doesn't have the luxury of Devontae Adams. He's got guys that are still breaking it in and making it their own way themselves. So hard to assess. Right now, yes, Jordan Love has been fine. That's good. That's where we're at. I'm okay with that right now. And again, he's got the rest of the season to hopefully get better. I don't think his coach is doing him any favors. And also, I think the Packers, like, here's another thing I want to get out there. I think the Packers are kind of bad. This is a bad team. It's a bad team. All right. So I thought if they won this game, they'd be a good, bad team. This team, as it's constructed, very young, they're a bad team. And if they have injuries, they're even worse. I thought they could be a good, bad team, maybe 9 wins. This is about a 6-7 win team right now. And I think that you wanted to beat at least a shitty Raiders team. And now, you know, you go to Denver. If you lose to Denver, you might as well just. Are we going to Denver or are they coming here? I don't even know. I don't even know who we play. Red Shed is here. I'll get Red Shed. And Sam in Sussex returns to the program. We're in double three, who did not play tonight, Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I want to rip through some of these comments. I'll do that in a minute. I do want your thoughts first. First, a shout out to our guys at Happy Place Hemp for helping make this engine churn. HappyPlaceHemp.com, promo code BART, 25% off every order. This is the CBD gummies, THC gummies, tinctures, balms, whatever you need. They're in Muskego. They have free shipping discreetly. You can go there if you want across from Maddie's, or you can browse their website. Use the promo code BART, 25% off every single order, no matter how many times. You don't need to like do fake emails or incognito mode. Just type in BART, always 25%. Red Shed, let's get to you. Your thoughts first.
My biggest takeaway from this game is I am firmly in the position of no longer being alone in thinking that Joe Barry is not the only bad part of this Packers team. For 2 years, ever since that playoff game where they gave up 6 total points on defense and lost 13-10 at home with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur all there, since that moment, everybody's been calling for Joe Barry's head. Everybody's been saying he's got to be the scapegoat. Just fire him, and all of a sudden it'll all be sunshine and dandelions. And here we have a game tonight on the road against one of the worst defenses in the league, by the way, the Raiders. Our defense allows 14 points, an extra 3 coming courtesy of Matt LaFleur and his offense. And we lose again. And we saw this multiple times last year. Both games against the Lions, holding them to 20 points or under with terrible defense. You could even go back to week 1 last year where everybody saw Justin Jefferson get a bunch of yards and just ignored the final score of 20-7. And it's just repeatedly Joe Barry is getting kicked to the curb as the scapegoat for Matt LaFleur. And what I saw tonight, my biggest takeaway, just firmly watching with Packers Nation, experiencing it live through Twitter like only we do now in the modern era, is that I'm not alone in thinking Joe Barry's not the only ugly molar in this teeth. You know, so I'm excited.
Well, I think Joe Barry is very bad. Again, I don't want to give a large percentage of the show to Joe Barry because, to your point, I think others deserve the criticism. If Preston Smith, if there's not that play where Preston Smith is guarding Devontae Adams, Joe Barry doesn't get mentioned a lot tonight.
He's not guarding Devontae Adams. He's guarding the soft middle zone in a zone defense.
This is what it is.
To line up there. It wasn't
what it is.
It wasn't worth calling a timeout at that moment.
I put a lot of this on Matt LaFleur, and I think this is a big moment for the Packers. They have their quarterback, possibly of the future, At least this is the guy they've incubated for 3 years. And so with McCarthy, like he took Favre and then Rodgers, and I thought he proved to be the right guy. I mean, you have to attribute some of what Rodgers became to McCarthy. I think you have to. I don't know how much. I never know how much with coaches and quarterbacks. I never know. It looks like a lot of people are turning on Belichick with the whole Belichick Brady thing, but how much? How much is what? How much is the other guy? And then so you've got like this is the guy the same way that when Justin Fields went to Chicago and everyone's like, oh, this is not going to work because the Bears ruined people. Like Justin Fields somewhere else is flourishing. Brock Purdy in other places is dog shit. But in San Francisco, he's like, we all saw it. Oh, shit, this guy is good. We have to start giving him credit. This guy's good after the other night. LaFleur is the guy guiding Love, at least in this first year, probably several. And so a lot of like what Love becomes might be tied to LaFleur, not just how much he's coaching, but what kind of positions are you putting him in? Are you giving him the opportunity to succeed? Do you shoot his confidence away when you hand the ball off to A.J. Dillon 30,000 times? And these guys, these drop pass, I mean, a lot of it, like, again, I think the biggest thing with Love that I see is he's just got to realize, I think he picks a route. He goes through reads. I mean, we've seen that. But when he's ready to throw, he's just like, all right, I trust my guy's going to be there, not seeing if there's somebody else. Now, he doesn't have that experience yet. And I think that that's only going to come with experience. I want a coach that's going to put him in opportunities. Sam, I'll come to you to put him in opportunities to succeed. And right now, and that's just that part of LaFleur. I also think he sucks at game management. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no confidence in himself. So there's many LaFleur problems I have. And you know what he's going to do for Love, Sam, is another one.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of points. I mean, what we're seeing is that Shanahan style offense that LaFleur wants to run, where you don't hit, you look off this read, you look off that read, this guy's going to be open. He doesn't trust Love to make his own reads. And I mean, we all see it. LaFleur is not Shanahan. He might have learned from him, but he is not that guy. So we're seeing a pretty strict playbook, strict reads. And that's, I mean, partially, I think, to blame to that pick to the linebacker with the visor on. I mean, that was just total linebacker blindness. And it was just like, you're throwing it to that spot no matter what happens. And the guy was in the right spot.
Go ahead.
I think that there's a lot to blame on LaFleur. Every time that I see a game start, they show his overall record. And we're seeing that win percentage drop like a fucking lead weight. Yeah, he's kind of becoming human. I mean, a lot of people forgot that he was the offensive coordinator for what was it, the 30th ranked offense in Tennessee before we signed him to be our head coach. I mean, we're seeing
he
that.
never gave the ball to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and I think they gave A.J. Dillon an ultimatum tonight. They said, "Hey, you're gonna get some yards after contact, or else you're buying a flight home to Boston or wherever he grew up, because if you don't do anything, you're done here." And it lit a fire under his ass, but we see the drops, we see everything. I think that one of the areas that's not getting a lot of blame, sure, blame Barry, blame LaFleur, blame the receivers, blah, blah, blah. We need to start talking about this regime of athletic trainers.
Yeah.
How many?
What's going on?
I don't get it. I mean, the guy with the coiffed hair, the spiky hair that we've seen in the background of every LaFleur shot since I can remember, even in the back of McCarthy shots. How long has he been the head trainer? And somebody that's smarter than me, that knows how to look into it better than me, I need to see how many soft tissue injuries the Packers have had compared to other teams, because it seems way higher.
It seems like a lot, and it's also like with Aaron Jones, it's like they're trending, they're fine, they're going to play, and then all of a sudden, no, they're not. And Bakhtiari the same way. I ran through some of those on Monday's show. It's like, oh, no, they're not. I want to here's a comment I got. This was a winnable game. We lost when Watson got pulled down. And yes, like he got pulled down. The guy saved a touchdown by pulling him down like that. Should have been a red card in soccer. As I bring in Tack would know. This was a winnable game. But if you look at like what's happened so far this season, they beat the Bears, they lose to Atlanta, they came back against the Saints somehow and their backup quarterback. They lose to Detroit, they lose to Vegas. Like I don't think nobody thought this was going to be a Super Bowl team. I still think the 7 to 10 win zone is still there. Right now, it's trending way more towards 7 than it would be 10. But this team is not that good. Tack, it's that. I mean, that's as simple as it. This was winnable games that you're losing. And again, I think playoffs would have been a nice cherry on top to everything. Still in play, sure, fine. But what we've seen through 5 games is a mid football team.
Loves our guy.
I gotta say, 4 of the 5 teams we played are within the 10 worst teams in the league.
Yeah, Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans. Here's a great tweet. This was from AK Schaff. He says, Jordan Love lights up a team from Illinois in the opener and gets progressively worse in each subsequent game. Feels familiar, but I just can't place it. Obviously, Graham Mertz. I also wanted to get this out there. Packers first half point totals this season. Week 1, 10. Week 2, 10. Week 3, 0. Week 4, 3. Week 5 tonight, 3. Tack, we're averaging 5.2 points a first half.
Yep, last 3 games or something, we've had 3 points in the first half.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's not good. I don't love the outlook of the Packers this year. I'm still going to root for them. But, they're not going to be good.
Well, I think like for me, a lot of it was this is a year transitional, super young. What do we have specifically in Jordan Love? And I think the deeper we get into this, like what do we have in Matt LaFleur? One of the whole reasons that Joe Barry even still gets brought up is because that was LaFleur's guy. LaFleur will never fire this guy. Like the only way that Joe Barry's done in Green Bay is if he goes to LaFleur himself and says, I'm going to leave. Or if he
we need an FBI investigation. We need an FBI investigation for Barry, like the Bears DC.
Yeah, well, I hope not that bad, but something's going on.
Joe Barry was not the problem tonight.
No. Again.
Defense looked good in the first half.
We're not like this isn't shit on Joe Barry hour. He's been brought up a few times. The problem was there's Jordan Love growing pains, and Matt LaFleur stinks. That's where I'm at. I just think he flat out stinks.
I'm not sure he stinks, but I do think there's a quarterbacking timeline. Like Jordan Love needs a year under his belt, like a full year of starting. Like let's really evaluate him next year, or in the latter half of this year. I don't know. Because tonight was bad. It was really bad for Jordan Love.
He had 3 picks.
Yeah, it was bad.
One wasn't his fault for sure. One was definitely his fault.
Well, I think they were all his fault. I think the second one was his fault.
The tipped one?
The guy, when they showed it again, because Watson was cutting in, and the guy, whoever was covering him, was really on him. And so I don't know if Watson could have ran a better route or whatever. I just think that Love, when he threw the ball, expected Watson in a certain place and didn't expect the defender to be on top of him. So he's throwing to the routes. And then there are accuracy issues. There are it's like MVS is back on some of these deep throws and some of the shorter throws. And there's nothing we can do about it now. And I'll stop talking about it after tonight because it's the 5 games. But he needed those 5 games last year when Rodgers was hurt and they were eliminated from the playoffs. Don't give me this 0.1% chance. He broke his thumb, but he still wanted to play because he didn't want Jordan Love to play, because he didn't want, God forbid, Jordan Love played fine. He should have wanted him to play. And if he got these 5 weeks, if we saw these 5 weeks last year from Love, it would be still probably clamoring for Rodgers. But
he would probably still be our quarterback if he was bad the first 5 weeks last year.
Who knows? I just think that I would have liked, growing pains to have already happened over the 3 years. Now, I guess Rodgers wasn't afforded that luxury either. Remember, he went 6-10. I would say I'd have to look back. There's that stat. All these Packers, Favre and Rodgers and now Love, they all started 2-3. Okay. I feel like Rodgers was better in 08 than Love is in 23 right now. But to say anything, what's so funny?
No, that's a 1,000% true. Yeah.
Okay.
The accuracy was better.
But to say, like, to watch these 5 games, and when I'm doing 5 games, when I'm saying like I'm out on LaFleur, this is 5 years of this. He had Aaron Rodgers. They were on Super Bowl's doorstep, and I understand Bakhtiari's knee like reset on itself or whatever the hell happened. But LaFleur's had chances, and he's made bad decisions, and I don't see any growth in that department. Let's say like McDaniels has made 2 dumb decisions this year on national TV. How do these coaches not get better? How do they not get more smart? So I'm using 5 years on LaFleur. With Love, this is 5 games. And for anyone to say this is who he is, this is like that's definitive stuff. This is who he is. I don't think you can be that definitive after 5 games. After 17 games, if this was week 17 and that's the performance we got, all right, then maybe he's not the guy. But I'm waiting 12 more games to be as plant my flag definitive as some of you guys are very eager to be. So I think coming out of this, I think there should be a lot more criticism on Matt LaFleur, and there's going to be a discussion about Jordan Love, and there's going to be a lot of people making definitive claims. Look, I know all about definitive claims. I wanted to trade Devontae Adams after a year or cut him. Tweet's still up there. So I know definitive claims, man. I don't know, Red Shed, I'll throw it back to you, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think with the definitive claims, the one trend that I noticed, and I don't want to get too deep into X's and O's because I know Packer fans don't really do well with that part of the game, but both of his first 2 picks came against soft zone coverage, which I know is a term that in Packer Nation, oh man, if you want to get people going, just start talking soft zone coverage. But for Love, intermediate throws against the zone seemed to be his weak spot. On the one awesome out route to Wicks, I think it was like the first like successful intermediate throw of the game. Got a big first down, but it was against man coverage. So I think like watch out for the zone against Love. Seems to be weak. The other one play I wanted to bring up that just kind of blew my mind. Does not seem like the Packers have had a guy on defense like a Max Crosby in forever. But that on the deep ball to Watson that everybody wanted Watson to run after more, Love wasn't able to step into the throw because of the cover from Crosby. If you saw in the replay, if you weren't just drowning yourself in beers like I was, rewound it, watch the replay again. Max Crosby ran all the way around the offensive line. 2 interior offensive linemen just watched him run by him. And then he ran to get Love. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but he literally ran all the way around the Packers offensive line, who weren't blocking anybody else, and then still got pressure on Love. And it seemed like that one dude kind of wrecked this offense, as well as LaFleur. But
we've heard about the guy? Yeah, he was a wrecking ball tonight, and we've heard about how bad their pass rush has been. And we made that pass rush look great. I mean, just such an unfortunate last name, but Kuntz, he looked great tonight, and I haven't heard his name all season. How are our guys not able to lock down Crosby? I mean, he's their only pass rusher. All the rumors are the Raiders want a pass rusher, and we're still not blocking their only pass rusher.
And he ran all the way around all of them. It was a crazy play. And I think if that doesn't happen, if somebody picks him up, I think we're able to hit Watson, who was wide open for the 15th time downfield, by the way. Just can't get Love enough time to hit him. But I got to hop off. Bart, appreciate it as always.
Yep, see you, Red Shed.
Later.
Good timing because I like to stay 4 quad box, and BK is here.
What's up, Bart?
What's up? Where are you from?
I'm from Oshkosh.
O-Town. Dude. Oh, I want to go get it. I went to the antique store in Oshkosh today. We're coming back from Appleton. Going off 41.
Yep.
I bought a box of Pro Set 90 Pro Set cards.
Okay.
And then I got the sweetest. It's the sweetest mirror. I have to go get it and show you, but it's just like a mirror it says baseball. It looks like clip art, but it was $3.
Oh,
Fuck.
That's a deal right there.
God damn.
Hey, I just watched Matt LaFleur's presser. He's really proud of the fight.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. No quitting the team. Really proud of how we fought. I thought the defense played well, so that's just another week of Joe Barry staying in this organization.
He was fine tonight.
Oh, I agree. I don't. But my biggest issue here is the Raiders have one good player on their team. It's Max Crosby. How do you not fucking stop that guy? Attack every other. There's attack every other player on the team but him.
Yeah.
Here's some more comments to my Jordan Love tweet. The tweet being that he should have played the 5 games that Rodgers played last year. Dumbest tweet I've read all night, even worse than Matt Schneidman, which is hard to do. That's from Sam. Ronnie says, you got shit on your face from Jordan Love's butt.
Oh, man.
It's not me, Sam, that tweeted you that. Don't worry.
Yeah, different Sam. Here's some comments on YouTube. Jake, MLF firmly on fraud watch. Garrett, Raiders first win against the Packers since 1987. XOXO 2000 says, LaFleur doesn't trust Jordan Love, even though he jumped up and down like a little girl when he drafted him. I don't know, like what human on this planet willingly gives A.J. Dillon 20 carries in a game?
Dude, he played good tonight.
He had a good night.
He had a touchdown.
He had a great game.
What was
He had
his yards per
3.8
carry?
yards to carry.
3.8.
That's a first down every 3 touches.
I mean, that's not terrible.
I mean,
He had a good game. He fucking made runs when it mattered, I think.
Ben wants to know if I'm reporting from the West Coast. Why is there sunlight on my pale neck? Again, Dan Schani YouTube stream. There you go.
Nice.
That is a green screen. Josh says Love played bad.
I mean, he didn't
He
play
didn't play good.
No, he played bad.
I mean, he's still young and still working through all this stuff, but you gotta.
Do not give Love a pass, Bart. He has looked bad the last 3 games. I would say that I would have liked there to be more progression since what we saw in week 1. I still think it's way too definitive way too early to be definitive. I also think what were we doing tonight? We were either handing the ball off or chucking it deep. Like that one play to Wicks, that was like the first intermediate throw all night.
Or running that stupid roll out to one side of the field and then quick pivot, try to throw back across the field to A.J. Dillon, and then you bounce it in there. Like, I don't care who your quarterback is. They're not making that fucking play. That's just a horrible play design. Why are we rolling out to one side, trying to throw across our body back to the other side for a negative gain?
Here, now I'm in my Oceanside office.
Wow.
Off the coast of Lake Michigan. Nathan says, Joe Barry hate is not warranted. He kept Devontae in check. Devontae tonight, 4 for 45, which I was stunned about. I honestly thought he would have a lot of catches and a lot of targets. He did not. So I would like to go back and watch individually how they did that. But if the game plan was stop Devontae and you'll be fine. They only allowed 17 points. So
Kobe Myers looked all pro.
Well, this was a winnable game. So yeah, the image of Preston Smith on Devontae is going to be like, but it was other stuff in this game.
We lost because of our offense. We had no offense.
Yes, we had no offense.
Yeah, I mean, our defense played great. I mean, yes, the Raiders suck, but I mean, we gave up 17 points. We should be able to score that many. It's a bummer that we couldn't. The Packers stink, Bart. Like you said, they're not a bad good team. Or what did you say about that?
Well, I thought they would be a good bad team.
A good bad team, yeah. They're not.
They're bad. They're not that. They're bad.
They're a bad team.
Um,
You know it's a bad night when your best play from an offensive lineman is a blocked field goal. That's when you know you're fucking in
yeah,
trouble.
Yash Nijman saving LaFleur's ass.
Finally did something good on the wrong
All
end
right,
of the ball.
I got new guys in here, so I'm gonna say goodbye to all you.
Last
All right,
thing
later,
before I
Bart.
go,
All right, see you,
Yeah,
Bart.
get your closing thoughts out.
where was Dobbs tonight? He was supposed to be our number one or number
What
two.
do you do?
and
One catch?
One catch for 4 yards.
Two targets or 3 targets?
2 targets.
I know he dropped that one.
BK, don't be a foreigner.
So that's
Oh no. Jordan Love thought that he thought he had Watson deep on the final play. That's what he just said. Thought he was behind the coverage good enough. So that's good.
Awesome. Good.
Can't wait to hear that again.
Zach?
What are your thoughts on Jordan Love being a franchise quarterback? Like percentage wise, I think 60.
It's too. You can't judge that off of 5 games. That's too.
No,
low.
Percentage-wise?
I get it. But that's the point. I say 60 no, 40 yes.
I'd say right now we have about a 1-in-3 shot of him being the quarterback in 5 years.
You're talking 33%.
It's 5 games.
Yeah, I'm at 40%, so you're at slightly less.
I'll go down to 25%.
Oh,
I think part of it is LaFleur though. I think the play calling is just atrocious. I think he's not really setting him up to be the best quarterback that he can be. I think it's terrible. Honestly, I've never seen a guy kill a drive the way that Matt LaFleur will kill a drive with his play calling.
I'd rather be a backup quarterback than a starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah. All right. Later, boys.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks might beat the Dodgers tonight. That'll piss me off actually more. Okay, shuffle the deck. Craig is back. Q is back. Cone is back. Cone, you start.
What? Me start?
Yeah, I want your takes.
Okay. First,
Have you been hearing my takes?
I have. Yeah, I've been listening.
Are they agreeable?
I think you can say it's fair to say that Jordan Love played bad without saying that he is bad. He played terrible tonight. He was bad.
Yeah, he wasn't that good.
And Matt LaFleur, I called into Grant's show earlier today and said, this game is going to be out about which coach fucks up less because they both are kind of dweebs. And I still think McDaniels fucked up more than LaFleur, and they still lost. So Matt LaFleur, inexcusable. I agree with Red Shed. I thought he had some good takes on Joe Barry overall from a high level. Bart, I think you're still trying to figure out who to blame in this season. Last year you could cover everything over Aaron Rodgers, and now it seems like it's all shifted to LaFleur.
Oh, I think LaFleur sucks.
So do you give Rodgers a pass for changing the play calls last year then?
Fuck, I guess so. I would call it. If my coach told me to run A.J. Dillon 20 times, you get damn right I'm changing the fucking plays.
I really didn't think A.J. Dillon played that bad tonight. I thought he was effective.
Well, he didn't play that bad, but that's not how you're going to beat the Raiders.
He was getting them first downs, and I think it was way more Jordan Love than A.J. Dillon.
So look, if Jordan Love plays like shit the rest of 2023, I will acknowledge it and talk about it. And, I won't like cover it. I don't think in any way, shape, or form we can have these takes that are so solid about what, like, people telling me, look, if you want to say like Jordan Love has sucked so far, or Jordan Love has gotten worse each week, or I haven't seen what I wanted to in Jordan Love. If you want to tell me those kind of things, I think that's okay for you to say. If you want to tell me that's who he is, that's what the fuck? No.
Yeah, I agree with
that's who he is.
I agree.
You know shit about who he is.
I agree with what you're saying, but I still think it's fair to evaluate Love on a game-by-game basis. And tonight he sucked. And I think that's fair to say without dissing him as a franchise quarterback or as the future.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay. Well, I think we're in somewhat of an agreement then.
Like one of the things that I think Paul will ask next time I talk to him, he keeps asking, like, would you give Jordan Love the big contract right now? And I think like what's going to happen here, what I need to see is I would be more prone, like if Jordan Love ends up not being the guy, but he's in the middle, like, Daniel Jones, I think, is the good benchmark because he did get a lot of money. The Giants paid Daniel Jones because they didn't want to try again. They had a guy who took them to the playoffs, so let's just pay him. If he's Daniel Jones, then I'll hit the reset button. You need a franchise quarterback to win. And if he's not a franchise quarterback, then I'll hit the reset button. But I'm not going to make that determination until I have to or until the year's up.
So how close are you to that reset button right now?
I'm not even in the room. I'm not opening the door until week 17.
Do you know the codes though? Do you know the nuclear codes?
You can just get them in Mar-a-Lago
drawer. What? Craig, you take it away, Craig.
I don't know. Okay, first of all, I want to start with this. Here's a little history lesson because I am the oldest man here. Probably none of you guys were probably the 88 is probably the latest or the earliest one of you guys have been born. 1988, am I right? Anybody born earlier than 1988 here? Except
Bitch,
for
I'm
me?
about to be 40.
I'm 52. So anyways, just watching the Monday night game tonight, and all of a sudden they show so-and-so lighting the Al Davis.
Did you leave me a voicemail the other day about the Badgers?
Yeah.
That was you?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get your name on that at first.
Yeah. So it was the Eternal Flame, and I started laughing because Al Davis sued the NFL back in like the 70s or in the 80s, and he went up against Roselle, and he was trying to get out of Oakland, and there was this whole thing, and he won the case, but they gave him $1, and he and Roselle hated each other. And I just laughed tonight because I figured that was the last big finger that Al Davis did to the NFL, that every time anybody walks in, they get to see that flame, and they all hated him anyways. Secondly, Bart, I can't agree with you more. I mean, we haven't even seen the offense with all of its compliments of everybody.
Yeah, we got Aaron Jones. I need Aaron Jones here.
This is the first game or the second game that he had Watson back. He's only had Jones for one game. And then you look at everything.
You got Brock Purdy, who is coming along in this league with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, even guys that they don't like really care. Brandon Ayuk might be their best receiver. He might be Baron Deebo. And then like Jawan Jennings is good. And Love's throwing to 3 different fucking tight ends.
Right.
One no one knew was even like on the roster.
But then
Davian Wicks, like what the fuck?
But you use Purdy, which is a perfect example because Purdy turns around and he's got guys around who played some games. Like you,
I rock with Brock, by the way. He's good.
In this year, and he looked at his wide receiver core, and he's like, "Well, I remember you and the rest of the 7 of you other guys I've never seen before." And then he walks into the tight end room. He's like, "Well, there's DeGore over there licking paint off the walls, and then everybody else is brand new." And so it's like, let's just see what happens. I totally agree with you that LaFleur is way over his head, but I'm not. These people that you're saying on Twitter is like, oh, he's already had a chance. He shies. Let's just relax. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
I just think the phrase "that's who he is." That's what's grinding my gears. Right. That phrase is really.
You know what? Week 17, we come out and everybody's healthy after the break, and we play, and he still looks like that. I'm right with you. I don't know if he's the right guy, but Jesus, give him a break.
Q, I will be able to hear you. So I have to show you guys this fucking mirror. It's amazing. So I just have to go get it. But I'll hear you. So start talking.
Okay. So I feel like going into tonight's game, I felt like the Packers needed to go 2-1 versus like the Raiders, the Broncos, and then the Vikings. Like we needed to win 2 of those 3 games for us to not try and tank. Because the rest of the season, like our schedule just gets more and more difficult. So I'm pretty disheartened today that we couldn't beat the Raiders after like a quasi bye week. Like we had 10 days off between games. How could we not fix this offense?
First time LaFleur's ever lost before a bye.
And I honestly, I wholeheartedly blame Matt LaFleur. Like he had a chance with the Hall of Fame quarterback, injured or not, last year. Like, and we all gave him a free pass thinking that Rodgers was just not letting him run his offense. After a quarter of the season, we've seen the LaFleur offense, and it sucks. And he just sits there and pouts on the sidelines. And I have no confidence in him as a leader of the team or of this offense. I'm done
LaFleur
with
is
him.
exactly like, you know how in high school there's teachers that like you listen to, and then there's teachers that like half the class is talking and the teacher doesn't do anything to stop it. They've lost you on day one. He's like, he's worse. Like I've respected substitute teachers more than
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hugh, look at this. Look at this fucking thing.
What is it?
The mirror.
That's pretty
Where'd
cool.
you get that?
Oshkosh Antiques.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. It's $3.
Just don't
It's
break
crazy.
it. That'll be 7 years
Yeah.
bad luck.
Here you guys are. Here's my basement. You can see.
That's the that was
That's
every
awesome.
that was every kid's dream in the 70s at every county fair in Wisconsin at the dart balloon pop
$3
to get that
Maybe-
mirror.
Maybe Jordan Love needs to try the high leg kick on his throws downfield over 40 yards. I mean, honestly, I messaged it earlier, but why does 40 yards with this offense feel like 120 yards? Like when we get across the 50-yard line, it feels like I'm praying that we get another 30 yards so that we have a chance at a field goal. Like I just have I've lost all confidence in this offense. And I don't blame Jordan Love. I think it is simply play calling because we've seen it the last couple years with the LaFleur offense just stalling out and losing any sense of direction or purpose as a team. Like, who are we? Like, is A.J. Dillon the answer? I know Aaron Jones has been out since the first game, but, like, is that all we are? Like, we come out and we run the ball fucking 5 times in a row? Sorry for swearing, but this is – I expected more out of this team today. And in my opinion, the defense stepped up. The defense had some really big stops on third down that kept us in this game when it could have easily been like a 20 or 30 point blowout if they didn't have those big stops. So end of rant, just disappointed Packer fan. And if we can't beat the Broncos, I hope they just gut the staff. Like, I don't care who they promote, but I'm just done with this coaching staff.
If they can't beat the Broncos after Robert Saleh told Sean Payton to stay humble.
They can't. They cannot gut this team middle of this year. You need to play it out with Jordan Love. You need to see what you have. I'm even against tanking because you got to stay competitive. You got to see what he can do with this team. You got to see what fight they got because you got to make a decision on Love somewhat soon.
I guess I'm half of there with you, but for me personally, like, I want to see Love with not Matt LaFleur as an anchor. Like, he just feels like he's potentially holding Jordan Love back. So, like, I don't know if there's another coach on the offense.
Right away in the beginning of the season, the first drive, I was already bitching about LaFleur holding Love back, and people were like, and then I said LaFleur sucks, and then they came back against the Saints somehow, and then I had to eat fucking crow, which is the worst phrase in the world outside of we got punched in the mouth. Like, there's got to be a better way to say you got beat than we got punched in the fucking mouth.
Is Jordan Love even good enough? Has he shown enough to us that he can be let go? That, like, Matt LaFleur can let him cook? I don't think so. I don't think Matt LaFleur's handcuffing him.
I think they're handcuffed together.
Yeah, it's kind of like literally.
They're a package deal, and like right now I guess this is the pain that every franchise has felt. Is it the quarterback? Is it the coach? We don't know who's worse.
Starting
And
to
now
sound,
we're
I think.
what's that?
I think we're starting to sound like Bears fans.
I guess
Bucky says love has started 5 fucking games, guys. Relax. No, I think that, I mean, just to reiterate what I've been saying, like, I think unless that is to the comments, that might be to the comments on YouTube, which I've noticed turns into a real shit show.
I don't think anyone too outrageous on love in either direction.
Well, it's just the one thing I tweet about how I wish Rodgers went to play those last 5 games.
You know what, Bart? You need to tell those people to be a man and call into the show.
They fucking should.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of calling into the show, I will be on CBS Sports Radio Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday nights this week.
Woo! What's
How
the
about that?
occasion?
Well, Zach Gelb is doing afternoons now because
Forever?
DA left to Sirius.
Oh,
But CBS
Megan
still plays
Perloff
his
took the
commercial
mornings.
bumps.
What, Craig?
I said, but CBS still plays his commercial bumps.
I did hear that, and I heard a commercial he did.
I was like, wait, I thought he left.
And so they're doing fill-in rotation the rest of the year, I think. So I'll be on like 2-3 nights a week.
you're on a tryout. You got a tryout, buddy.
Open roster. It's spring.
Yeah,
Pitchers and catchers reporting.
this is it.
Yeah,
This is your
I
big
can't
break.
work. I can't work nights though, guys.
Why not?
Why?
I miss my kid grow up.
Then you just homeschool during the day.
You got day.
No,
You can homeschool them. Yeah, teach them at home. Homeschool them.
The
You'd be a
fuck?
great teacher. I've learned so much from you.
Spoken from people who don't have kids.
Dude, Craig, I have a kid and I was born before 1988. Stop making assumptions, bro.
Well, just homeschool. Like, fuck that.
and Cone's
Hey,
got
have a
like
good day at
12
school.
kids.
I got
Cone's got 12 kids.
I got a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Cone's building an ark. He's filling it 2 by 2. So I'm
Sam
gonna drop
says,
off.
bring the kid to the show. And Nick says, bring the kid to the station. Fuck it.
There you
You ain't
go.
gonna like that.
He can hang out on the couch Freem slept on a couple times.
But then he's got soccer. I'm gonna get him in basketball. The first half of the game tonight, when we were at this antique store, we bought some puzzles. We got these Avenger puzzles. They were so fucking hard. And I started bitching to him like, dude, I don't want to do these anymore. I want to watch this Packer game. He's 4. He goes, they're not hard for me.
He can homeschool you.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
guys.
then he goes, where's the
Talk to
fucking
you
piece
later.
we need?
See you guys.
Thank you.
Who's leaving?
I think I'm gonna jump off too.
Did I want to talk to you about anything else?
Yeah, fire away. Badgers. We want to do Badgers.
No, I am gonna get mad if the Diamondbacks win.
Who cares at this point? MLB playoffs are dumb.
Yeah, where are you on the playoff discussion, which is raging fire?
I think you got to go back to 1-game wild card and then either 5 games first series, 7. Either way, doesn't matter.
No.
You can't do 3, 5, 7. Imagine if they did that in hockey or baseball or NBA.
Would you do 5, 7, 7 with how many teams get in, or is that too long?
I really think you got to go 7. I think you got to go 4 teams and do 7.
Really?
Well,
I don't think the MLB would go for reduced playoffs though at this point.
But it's more games. 7.
I don't know. Can't put the tube back in the toothpaste back in the tube. At this
What are you
point.
saying, Craig?
I'm going to be the old man who shakes his fist and tells you to get the fuck off my lawn. It should just be the division winners.
If you want to just go back to 2, I'm with that. Fucking, I'd rather do that than what we got now.
Because I don't like.
Because it used to be a pennant race, Craig. It used to be a pennant race.
It's a 162 game season. And that was one of the reasons why they played 162 games. And you know what? really did Milwaukee deserve to be in it? They backed their way into it again this year. And I'm here. I watched the fucking I watched Arizona.
Arizona won 84 games.
I watched Arizona do everything they fucking could do that last weekend not to get to this position. So you tell me like, well, now they're getting hot, so it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna have to sit here and watch them like the Braves from a couple years ago.
And then we had a better seed than Philly, but we got to play the Red Hot Snakes, and they play the shitty fucking Marlins.
Exactly. I mean, I just.
So do you want to do the thing that they proposed a couple years ago, where the higher seeds get to draft who they can play?
Oh, that's even the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Even dumber.
They're asking for.
I mean, really, was it that bad? Like, I understand, like, college football back in the day, you know, when some writer was sitting there smoking a cigar saying, oh, Notre Dame, they got to win, whatever. Who cares? They beat Navy again. Woohoo, national champs. But 162 games, that's what it was for. I saw a lot of teams back in the day be really, really good. I saw a few Brewer teams back in my day that were really pretty good that couldn't quite make it over the hump and didn't get in.
92 team won 92 games.
Yeah. Thanks for playing.
Hey, the 89 Packers won 10 games. They didn't get in the playoffs. People forget. Lindy Infante was coach of the year.
No, but the 89 team got me fired from my job.
Why?
Because it was they were playing the Bears, and it was the Mikulski game where he was like 4 yards over the line of scrimmage, but they didn't see it or whatever. And I was at the grocery store, and me and the guy I was working with were in the back, and we were listening to it, and they scored a touchdown, and we jumped up, and I busted I knocked over a whole pallet of beer.
And they fired you?
Yeah, because I was fucking. They blamed it on us, kind of basically just fucking around listening to the game rather than doing our jobs, which we were. But it was a Sunday afternoon. Nobody was at the grocery store. So
this is why, Cohen. This is why when people join your show, you explore and you talk, because we just got this bonkers 89 Packers story out of Craig. The fuck.
Hey, do you want to hear my 97 Super Bowl story real quick?
No, I was good with the one.
No.
Yeah. Okay. What?
I'm gonna.
So I was going
all right, Cohen. See ya.
I was going to culinary school in San Francisco, and this was in '96. So, California in '96 legalized marijuana use for medicinal use, whatever it was. But anyways, the Packers are in the Super Bowl. They're playing the Patriots. I have a couple of people in my class that were from New England. Go to their house. We're having a Super Bowl party. I'm sitting there. I'm getting drunk. I'm from Wisconsin. Start throwing back some beers. There's cookies next to me. I start pounding these cookies, and my buddy looks at me. He's like, "How many of those have you had?" I'm like, "I don't know, 6, 7. I'm a big guy. You can see that on the TV." And he's like, "Yeah, those are made with pot butter. They're like the equivalent of smoking like 4 joints a piece." I had 6 cookies. I don't remember. The last thing I remember is the younger Belushi, not John, but Jim Belushi singing the fucking Blues Brothers song, and that was it. Next thing I know, I was screaming going over the Bay Bridge because I didn't want to have it collapse on me and become I just freaked. It was nuts.
That's why I stick to one gummy from Happy Place Hemp and not eat them like fucking cookies.
See, I should be the cautionary tale, and then you can be like, don't listen to that idiot. Anyways, Bart, good talking with you. I'm gonna get off now.
See you, Craig. All right, I got to dig through some of these YouTube comments. You guys are on one. I think, Aaron Jones. Let me just refresh everything. Aaron Jones magically doesn't play. This is getting annoying. Matt LaFleur, this is a take I'm committed to. I don't think he's a good coach. We're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. I have determined that after 4.5 years. Could I be wrong? Fine, sure. But I feel like I've got enough of a sample size to say that. Some of you that are talking about Jordan Love in a certain way, I don't feel like you have enough of a sample size to say that. And maybe even 1 year is not enough. But what you would like is to see go into this bye week and have a better Jordan Love game. Figure out what you think his strengths are, play to that. Don't I don't know. Like last week we wanted to run the football, and then this week we ran the football, but we want to run the football with Aaron Jones is what we want. I don't think we want a lot of this. Very interesting game. Very interesting week. Sucks that they got a loss. Did not need to. Again, in a micro setting, they could have won this game. That horse collar thing. If this Packers team was good, that would be the focal point. Because we'd say it cost us a win. We were on the way to the Super Bowl. That would be the focal point when they rip down Watson. But they're not that good. And so we're trying to figure out, is Jordan Love the coach? Or is Jordan Love the quarterback? But I think as much as we're trying to figure that out, I think we also need to have that evaluation process on Matt LaFleur. I don't think he's the right guy. So now you blame coaching, but last year you blamed Rodgers. Yeah. I'm willing to go back and nitpick everything that you guys don't like about Jordan Love after 5 games. I'll do that after 17 games. I think Cohen was right. It's okay to say, like, tonight he was not that good. Tonight he made mistakes. I told you what I thought the mistakes were. I think he gets a little too confident in the route before looking like who's around. Maybe he learned that from Rodgers, to trust the guys, whatever. I don't know. But it is a part of his game he can improve. Accuracy stuff. Yeah, I would, it would be nice if one of those balls was caught besides the one that was caught. Chris says LaFleur is not the guy. We know this. Rodgers made this guy look great. I like this comment from Bucky. This is the kind of year where unsuspecting teams will have their best games against us. Yeah. Yeah, so watch out for the fucking Denver Broncos. Oh, shit. I just so some people were asking if this is a must win. And when people ask that, people freak out too much. The Bronco game's a must win. You cannot lose you can't fucking lose to Denver, dude. You cannot. All right, we will continue to wrap up the Brewers this week. Thanks to Brett and Tosa. I thought he was great today. Paul and Grant on an episode this week. So the standard fare here on the Bart Winkler Show. Thanks for being with us tonight, whether it was streaming on Facebook, if you found me on Twitter, or here on YouTube. Like anybody would ask, like, subscribe, retweet, whatever you can do. No shakeaways tonight. Yeah, no shakeaways. I think Tim is asleep, and that's fine. We'll get some. I'll catch up with Tim this week. We'll get some shakeaways. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for spending the night with us. And I got a 6:35 a.m. wake up call for WISN Channel 12 News. Maybe I'll use this background. We'll see. All right, peace.